Welcome everyone back to this last man stands World Cup group game between England and Scotland. Joined again here by Bjorn Briggs. Hi bro.
Hiya Lee. Looks like it's going to be a cracking game here. I think we've got Gavin Dean opening the bowling for Scotland. Late call up to the team.
That's a really nice way to get off the mark for Aaron Lomas. Opening up with franchise player Nick Compton here. If you've been tuned in all day, he's done quite a few interviews, and we've been lucky to have him in the box a few times. He's started well.
I think England have done well to get him in earlier as well. I think it's going to suit his game, and I think some of the other teams that have the ambassadors playing in their side have missed a trick by not getting them in earlier in the game, and good move by England.
Well, we saw Pakistan use Abdul Razak at the top of the order, and he was absolutely scintillating.
I was in the balcony there, and there was a car parked at Cow Corner, and I was getting very worried that he was going to have to get a new window put in by the end of Razak's innings. He was hitting into the wind as well, so those shots were really well timed.
It's a lovely bit of timing down to long off. You can see that Compton, obviously renowned for playing a slightly longer form of the game. He's a very classical player. The shots he's played so far, played firmly. Bjorn's just going to jump out the box for a little bit, and I'm going to bring back Wayne Grieve, LMS founder. Hi Wayno.
Hi Lee, how you going?
Very good. It's been an excellent first day. You must be happy with how it's gone.
Yes, it's been a long day. This is the 5th game, but the stand-up cricket's been outstanding. There's a lot of talent on display, and now we get to see England versus Scotland. Scotland going into this game as favourites due to their ODI win against England early in the year. Lee, what do you think about that?
Well, factually, it's correct. Quincy Bowler's second over here is Asad Amir. He's going to be bowling ex-England Test batsman Nick Compton. Just found the outside edge there. It's been fascinating to listen to some of the ex-professionals that have managed to come into the comm box today, and how much they've enjoyed this new format. It's new to them anyway. I know obviously it's been building for many years now, Wayne.
Yeah, Nick Compton said he's looking forward to learn a few things from the Last Man Stands Pro. He feels he's an amateur in this format, but I think he's selling himself. Well, he's been very modest there, because we've seen him play in San Francisco, as we see it go for 5 wides. He had an unbelievable tournament with the Compton boys in San Francisco about 3 years ago, with the launch of LMS out there, and I think he was striking at around 250 at an average of 200. And the standard of cricket was decent. And just we've already seen Razak earlier today show his class with the bat, and can Compton stamp his mark on this tournament?
As Amir comes in, a few of the seam bowlers have struggled just to control these new pink balls just in these first couple of overs.
Yeah, I think it is swinging. So they've just got to work out which way they're swinging it, and then try and adjust their line. It's always easier said than done. There's a lot of people watching the live feed. It's quite a lot of pressure out here. And there, as you said, there goes another white. So,
as a seamer yourself, Wayne, what would if you were getting this sort of swing now? How would you look to adapt to ensure that, obviously, as the over goes on, that you're not continuing to make that mistake, slipping it down the leg side?
That's a great shot. Out to deep extra cover. They push the first one hard. It's a fumble in the outfield, and they're going again. It's a good run in. Yeah, it's obviously it's a case of feeling your way into it. I think, first few overs you're nervous. You've got to readjust your line, work out how much you're swinging, and then pick a spot on the wicket and try and hit it. Lomas pushes hard. Turn. This is good running. Good start from Lomas. Lomas plays his cricket in the LMS cricket in London. He's been playing for years for a corporate team, Barclays Capital. Barclays Capital have supported the concept for a long time, and Aaron Lomas is a very experienced LMS player.
We had Ross Kaywood in the box with us about an hour ago, Wayne, the franchise owner from London, and he was explaining to us about how much it's growing in over 400 teams. Obviously very popular down there.
Ross is a very popular guy himself, and he's done a fantastic job with last man stands in London. As we watch the new bowler, come on, he's got a bit of shape into the bat there.
Well, this was the late call-up Gavin Dean, who's again just shaping it into the pads here.
So Gavin Dean is wearing Fraser Watt's shirt. Fraser Watt's Scottish international. Fraser is going to be starting his tournament tomorrow, and it looks like he's been given the honour to wear a Scottish international shirt.
He'll push again here, down into that far corner of the ground. There's been a lot of twos down here. Compton sends him back. Be really interesting to see what role Nick Compton takes here, because obviously he's an extremely talented player. Whether he's going to look to anchor this innings for England, or whether he's going to take the bowling on himself.
I think, listening earlier, he didn't really have a clear game plan. I think he's just going to see how he feels. Oh, that's a great shot. Push down the ground. I don't think he's going to take too many risks too early. I don't think he needs to. As you say, he's played at a level above this, so he'll work the ball into the gaps, hopefully pick up a few bad balls, and then maybe get to 20 or 30, try and start going area. It's a good shot, and he's given him! He's given him!
Massive celebration from the bowler there. He was very, very keen on it.
Fraser Watts will be proud of Dean here. He's doing his shirt justice. Big shot. Good celebration as well.
Just played across his pad there, hasn't it? Always looks out when a batsman plays across the pad to a left arm seamer.
So Lomas leaves, and Haroon Khan, as we watch this shot, has it straightened up. Oh, that's I'd say that's hitting leg. Lee, you're looking a bit sheepish. You think it might be going down leg?
Well, at the end of the day, I'd definitely review it as a batsman, but I reckon it'd be a wasted review.
Umpire's call.
I think it would have been an umpire's call.
Umpire's call.
So, at the end of the day, my opinion doesn't really matter, because the umpires made a decision.
We've just actually got confirmation that that was clipping leg stump.
Fantastic.
So, Haroon Khan, he's at the non-strikers end. That was the last ball of the over. Haroon Khan, fresh off 145 for his club yesterday. He plays for a local club called Coldy. Also a very experienced last man stands player.
What a fabulous bit of timing that was.
Yeah, Compton showing his class there. Literally just leaning on that. So Sam Ferguson is the new bowler.
I know a number of young players who've actually came out just to watch Nick Compton in this last game, because obviously we watched the power and you know the poise of Razak before, but the way Compton hits the ball, you know, a very classical player. Yeah,
and he's still very fit, isn't he? So one of the younger of the marquee players. So I think he's going to be a real
I think he'll be a great asset to the
yeah,
England side.
huge asset for the England side.
I'm excited to see Haroon Khan. He only lives about, well, the Caldy Cricket Club's literally about 25 minutes from here. I'd be surprised if a few of the Caldy boys or the guys from the special ones don't.
Special ones. Paul Kearney, Richard Battersby.
I was going to say those two are. They must have played a few last man standing games between them now.
Yeah, they played a lot. Haroon has always been. And he's gone rock back into the back foot. He's just dropped his length a bit. There's Sam Ferguson. He's been driven through the covers for 4. I don't know if that's a tactics or if that just got stuck in his hand. But we'll give him credit there.
The one thing the Scottish bowlers may take some solace from is the fact that at least with Compton they know that if they bowl good lines and lengths, he's going to play it as correctly as possible, whether he pierces the gap or not, you know. Whereas before with Razak, it was absolute carnage.
Razak was already deciding where he is hitting the ball before the bowler had bowled. So it's been a great day here. The crowds have been coming in supporting their countries. We had a lot of Indian supporters coming in earlier watching the India-Pakistan game. The new bowler's Farid. Kazim Farid.
He plays at the Fulton Flyers, doesn't he, in Clydesdale?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
How popular is LMS up in Scotland?
It's growing. Paul Reddish and Colin Mills doing a great job. They started it in Edinburgh and now they expand into other cities. And I know they're quite keen to reach. Oh, he's gone for the reverse lap. It's working the fielder there at deep backward point. Yes, it's popular, it's growing. I know Paul and Colin are keen to grow, so if anyone's watching the feed from Scotland, register your team, lastmanstands.com, join. There's leagues pretty much all over the country.
Now Farid is, looks like he's given it plenty of air here. He's given it the chance to spin.
I've seen Haroon and he tends to play the slog sweep well, so that's the area I think we could be watching in this over here. It's well bowled, very well bowled.
I think for some of these guys in the first game, it's, you know, just to settle themselves down, just get the first couple of balls away, settle in.
Yeah, I don't think he needs to play the slog sweep here. I know it's definitely against the spin with the leggy, but he hits it. When he hits it, they stay hit to Haroon. He's got a very good strike rate. Oh, could this be a double play? Oh! That could have been two wickets off one ball.
So Farid has just managed to bamboozle Compton with the flight. I'm not sure in first class cricket he would have faced someone holding the ball back at that pace, but at least Farid cannot have a go at anyone for dropping the catch. Moving extremely well between the wickets there, Compton. He comes back as Haroon Khan hits the ball deep into the extra cover area for 2 more. I feel like England just need to probably just lift the rate of fraction here, Wayne. I think it's been a solid start, around 8 and over. But I just think there's an opportunity here to really put the foot on the accelerator.
That's great.
That's Thomas Jose down there, I think.
Scotland have started well, yeah.
He's another member of the Fulton Flyers. And this is Sam Ferguson here.
Pulled away. That should be 4. Great effort on the boundary. So Compton 21 from 14. The other end, Arun Khan 5 from 5.
He's just played that ball that fraction later to manipulate it behind square there. And that's 4 more. As Ferguson comes into bowl. Just carved into the offside there. He's played that ball awfully late under his eyes. Out towards the sweeper. Deep backward points for 2 more. We've seen today that a par score, anything between 170 and 180 is very, very competitive. He's timed that very well, Compton. He was quite fortunate though. He's just managed to miss the fielder out in the deep there, and it's 1 bounce for 4.
So we've heard the keeper say, take a rest there to Ferguson. I'll bring you back in a minute. I hope he honours his word there.
I must admit, as a captain, I've used that line many a time, Wayne.
So have I.
There's lads who haven't came back on for weeks, let alone a few overs.
Yeah. It's just the soft blow. Don't want to deliver the news.
Just have a couple of games in the twos, get your confidence back. Just interesting here as a local. The sun comes over the back of the end we're bowling from now, and with Farid bowling, obviously putting it right up into the sky here, it's very, very difficult to pick up just for a few overs. When we're playing T20 cricket here of an evening, we do tend to look to bat and start on time.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what you're saying. So he just gets it above the eye line, and
it'd be very, very tricky for the keeper,
okay,
and it'd be tricky for the batter as well. So the slower and the more loop he can put in, the better.
I think a few teams late in the week will be listening to that. So if you're playing late in the week, some good advice from the local champion of Chester Boughton Hall. So Farid looks like a decent bowler. It's just worked away down to final leg, long chase. Is Compton going to? That's gone. That's 4. Deft touch there from Khan.
This must be a great experience for Haroon Khan, getting to spend time in the middle with a test cricketer like Nick Compton.
Yeah, I think Nick Compton's saying the same about getting to play with the LMS legend like Haroon Khan.
Well, you don't play for a team like the special ones without having a certain amount of swag of your own.
Yeah, he's a really, really good player. Someone that's sometimes underestimated in the local circles, I think, as a cricketer.
Ball again out into the deep. Khan's just moving the ball around beautifully here at the moment. He's 15 off 10. Well, England are setting quite a formidable platform here, Wayne. After 7 overs, 63 for 1. They are going to put the foot down a little bit, but there must be a few guys lower down the order that to look out for?
Yeah, they've still got Simon Dunning. He's ranked number 81 in the world. When he hits them, they stay hit. Strong lad. They've got Blake van der Linde. Good English name there. He's ranked 173 in the world. Left-hand bat. They've got Nick Darby-Welsh. He's known for his bowling, but he's played a few cameos down the order. Just seen the gap. That's great batting from Compton.
The timing there was just unbelievable.
Yeah, it's not always easy to appreciate how good that shot was on the cam. You can see that he's seen the gap there. He's come down the wicket and
you okay there?
He's purposely
good running.
Got it on the full and just worked it into the gap between long on and mid wicket. Oh, that's a great shot. That's the shot of the innings.
Not only has Farid missed that in the outfield, he's lost his shoe as well. Double disappointment for him there. Fair to say he was almost caught on the hop there, Wayne.
That's a really good shot. Not really much pace on it, spinning into him. It's gone up.
It's gone out in the deep.
Could be
here.
a double play. Is Khan going to go? Oh!
Thomas Jose got around. He covered the ground brilliantly there, Wayne, and just at the last moment he just didn't steady himself.
Yeah, disappointing for him and the bowler. Would have been a chance to claim an international scalp. That could be costly. It's going to give England the cushion, knowing that if Compton does get to 50, they've got him in the hat. So I think they need to try and get him out, yeah.
You've got a feel for the keeper there. You know, we just spoke about a minute ago that the son, bit of local knowledge, very tough keeping just for the next few overs certainly, and Compton's just gone into the reverse paddle position there. No chance for the keeper. You can just see in that shot in the background there, obviously been an excellent crowd here all day. Also great to see teams that have actually been playing just a few hours ago straight back into the nets are taking this extremely seriously.
One or two just getting another Lucasade from the bar as well.
Well, the New Zealand team have been fantastic at rehydrating since their win against the UAE.
Yeah, they're very good at that. The physician, physio, and the background team make sure that they stay well hydrated after every game.
After 8 overs, LMS England are 78 for 1. Compton is striking at 200 here. He has given a couple of chances, but in and around some absolutely fabulous shots.
He's just chipped the bowler there.
It's either masterful placement that or just a little bit of luck there.
So Farid, is he pressed us? Yeah, Farid.
I've just got a feeling that Haroon's just going to let loose in the next couple of overs. I think he's got himself in really well here.
Yeah, I think Farid's the danger bowler, yeah. Although he appears to be a little bit expensive, I think the figures haven't done him justice. He's getting it to spin a long way.
And there we go.
That's the shot we were talking about. Oh,
that's someone will be answering the door shortly there, as that's just knocked on.
What number is that, Lee?
We won't name what number it is, Wayne, because they'll probably come and ask you to replace the door. So hopefully they don't notice. But Haroon Khan got down on one knee there.
Let's see when that door opens. I think it's going to be opening soon.
He's just picked that off Midland leg. Okay, if he misses it, it's obviously pretty adjacent, but he's got his head in a beautiful position there. His hands have come through and he's cleared the boundary by a good 20 yards there. Beautiful shot by Haroon Khan.
And we've just got confirmation that no one's at home.
It's a long way out there. He's surely looking for 2. After the initial good start from Scotland, you just feel like in the field they just dropped off a little bit. Just as some of these bigger shots from the England side. A little bit of bad luck going against them. Calm down again, looking to replicate that 6. Just managed to paddle it to long leg for a single. What games have we got to look forward to tomorrow, Wayne? What's the big game tomorrow? I know it's not like you to go out on a limb, but...
A big game for me is the game between Pakistan and New Zealand. James Franklin enters the competition, and he's going to be up against another quality all-round in the form of Abdul Razak. And Compton's just giving himself some room. That's a great shot.
That's one of my shots of the day, that way.
Yeah, that's a great shot. Every now and then you just see the difference in class there.
I actually spoke to him on commentary about an hour ago about the fact that the sound off the bat is just different.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he's got a very good bat as well. I think that helps. But, you know, the noise off the bat, the timing was superb there. And 89 for 1. We spoke about 3 overs ago about England having to put the foot down. They've done exactly that. And all of a sudden, Compton's raced to 47 off 23.
Some of the special ones teammates have tuned in to watch this game. I know Richard Battersby's watching. Martin Berger's watching.
We're on day 1 here, Wayne.
New Zealand boys just on the energized there.
Who are your early tips to win the whole thing?
I'll name 4 teams that I think look strong from their first day. Umpire says that's missing leg stump. I think Sri Lanka is strong, Pakistan is strong, South Africa, I'd say Australia. I'll leave it at those 4, but I haven't seen enough of England yet, but those are probably the 4 picks that I'd go from there.
I'm going to go out on a limb, and you've not even named the team that I'm going to say. I just think Pakistan.
I said Pakistan.
I wasn't listening.
Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Australia. I haven't seen New Zealand.
So you've covered pretty much all the teams that have won today.
I've covered half.
What have Singapore done wrong not to get a name?
I'll mention them tomorrow.
No, I was really, really impressed with...
It's under it again. Oh, it's the same. Compton's picked him out twice.
Thomas Jose down there. No, I was really impressed with Pakistan. I just think, obviously, they've got a very distinct model. They've got really nice blend left-hand, right-hand opening the batting in Razak and Batty. Shabazz Khan opening the bowl. That's
on our heads.
That's massive. That's been hit so hard that it's landed 20 yards past our commentary position, hit the wall, and gone all the way back to the bowler.
It's like a game of squash there, eh? The new batsman, Simon Dunning.
This is Rob Bainbridge. He plays for Bass Rock. He'll feel really hard done to there because he's just bamboozled Compton into making a mistake, and then he's just been hit 20 rows back here at Falcons Lane as Compton takes the applause. A few England fans in.
His teammates congratulating him there. High five from Blake van der Linde.
So this is Simon Dunning. Simon plays down in London, doesn't he, Wayne?
Plays for a team called the AON All-Stars. All or Nothing All-Stars.
Is that what we're going to see from him now? Is it going to be a wholehearted last 10 overs?
I definitely think it sums him up well, but a person who knows a lot more about him than I do is Ross Cawood. So I think it's a good time for me to depart and let Ross share his expert knowledge on some of the London players here. So Lee, it's been great chatting with you today. You've done a great job out here, and looking forward to hopefully getting in a stint with you in the commentary box tomorrow.
Cheers, pal. That was Wayne Grieve, LMS founder. He'll be absolutely delighted with how today's gone. With only 10 overs left in this innings and then one more to go. And England are in an extremely strong position here at 101 for 2. Haroon Khan, 26 off 16, representing the special ones. And Simon Dunning yet to score after 1 ball. Ross Kaywood, welcome back to the box.
Hi Lee, thanks for having me back.
A few of your boys out here now. Obviously you're wearing the New Zealand shirt today. You've covered a few bases there. So you've got New Zealand shirt, you've got a franchise manager in London.
Yeah. I think Wayne summed it up perfectly last night at the opening ceremony. He introduced me as the London franchise owner from New Zealand who lives in England, is from South Africa.
There's not many teams that you can't claim that you're supporting really here.
Well, just decide to support who's ever winning really.
Have you got a tip for the tournament?
I think Pakistan and Sri Lanka are my favourites at the moment.
I'm sure some of the people from South Africa, won't be very happy with that.
I know, but but yes, I'm lucky enough to play with a lot of the England guys on a weekly basis. They play in the local league that I play in.
Which club is that at?
We play in Barnes, southwest London. Simon Dunning, Nick Dalby-Walsh and Blake van der Linde play in that league, and they're some very good cricketers.
Asad Amir's just returned from the Ron Fleet end, running into quite a strong low sun there. He's bowled pretty full. Couldn't manage to stop the single there, goes out to long off. What are we do you know much about Scotland as a team or a franchise? Or
I think they're a bit of an unknown entity this week. They've I think got some quality players that'll be coming in tomorrow.
And that's going to be interesting as the dynamic of the week goes on, where franchise players coming in and out. Obviously, you've got with a New Zealand hat on, you've got James Franklin on board. Is that for Monday and Tuesday?
Yes, he's here tomorrow, and he plays on tomorrow afternoon and then Tuesday.
And that's just unbelievable, because I was only watching highlights I think it was yesterday, of a game he played in at Surrey, where I think he was on the wrong end of them chasing 220 and 14 overs. But that's the kind of quality of player that you'll be looking to put into your side.
Big swing from Simon Dunning, edges it down to third man, scamping up for 2. It's good running. Don't think he's run that fast in his life. I
think that's a little bit closer than you think. He looked like he was starting to struggle there. I know Thomas Jose's put a couple of catches down in this innings, but he really covered the ground well there and fired in a good bounce throw. Very coy from Dunning here. He's just soaking a few big deep breaths in there.
I think he's lining the bowler up. He likes to hit a big ball. He does hit a big ball when he gets going.
Simon Dunning's got quite a bit of support on Facebook at the moment. I've just spotted that his wife's wishing her hubby all the best, so it must be fantastic for her to be able to watch him, as Haroon Khan has just planted his foot down the middle of the wicket, swung through the line and dispatched another 6. I think he could be a real key component to this England side, Ross.
Yes, no, he's a very good player, comes with a good record, plays up here in the Northern Leagues, and all the guys talk really highly of him.
No, I know he's played an awful lot of last man's cricket, and he's certainly making the most of it today. Bainbridge comes in again, and this time he's gone the other way. That is unbelievable timing from Haroon Khan. He just let the ball come in that extra couple of inches there, and he's just put his hands through the ball. The fielder must have moved no more than 2 yards to his left.
He moves to 38 off 20. Fantastic knock this.
it's a bit of a nightmare as a fielder down that far end, because if you get beaten either side, it's so open with the second pitch behind you. You know, especially if you misfield it, it's an awful long way to soak up the disappointment.
Haroon Khan on strike again. Oh, well bowled.
I think the bowler thought he bowled him then. Good, Rob, good. That's the first time in Haroon's innings there of 38 off 20 where he's lost his shape. He's been beautifully balanced so far in this innings.
Hi to the Aon guys who are all watching in London.
I reckon he'll be looking for a second one here. Simon Dunning's going to come back for a second. They force a misfield. Excellent running from Team England there. From a Chester Boughton Hall viewpoint, it's been an absolute pleasure to host day one of this World Cup. We're delighted to have the Last Man Stands team here at Chester Boughton Hall, and we'd love to see as many of you coming down and supporting this World Cup tournament. Everyone's welcome.
Thanks for having us. It's a fantastic venue, facilities are top class, and the teams are having a great time.
Well, it certainly looks that way. I'm extremely jealous. As much fun as I'm having in the commentary box, the terrace looks like the place to be. Bainbridge got out of that over quite well there, because he obviously conceded 10 off the first 2 balls and managed to get out just about unscathed there. So Dunning 7 off 4. What sort of player is Dunning?
He doesn't like to block the ball. I think he enjoys hitting sixes. But he hasn't quite had the ball in his arc yet. So these bowlers are bowling good areas to him. As soon as he can free his arms, the ball's going to be disappearing over that side screen. So Haroon Khan back on strike. 42 of 23. Really putting a good innings together for his team.
It's just a massive platform, isn't it? If he can get to retirement as well with Compton in the shed, it gives all the other batters complete licence for the rest of this innings.
Well bowled. Oh, unlucky there.
I think Scotland just need to regroup here. They're just looking a fraction dejected. The last 6-7 overs of England have really put the foot down.
Yep. Dunning back on strike. My money's on this going for a 6. No, all bowled.
See there from Amir though, that's the first time in this spell where he's just offered something a little bit different. He's been trying to go heavy into the block hole, hasn't quite executed straight away, but there he's just rolled his hand down the side of the ball there.
It's good he's mixing the pace up, which is a very important factor in a game of LMS.
I think as a genuine medium pacer as well, you've got you know he's gone full on there. He's tried to put that down as quick as he can. He's hit the block hole, but he's leaving the batsman guessing. I really think he's got to be thinking about his length to Haroon Khan here, though. I think he's got to go hard into the wicket or right into the block hole. I think if he bowls length to him, then
it's going to disappear.
Yeah.
Great shot. Heave down to square leg. 4 more.
That's a bit of a gift to Haroon Khan. That he was actually set to go a lot straighter than that, and Amir's just drifted onto the pads with a full toss, and Khan could have hit that anywhere he wanted, and he's just split the field. 1 bounce and a missed field from one of the cameramen down there. I think Scotland will learn a lot from this first game today. I think a lot of the sides will, because I think they're learning a little bit about the wicket. I think also some plans as well, and mixing the fields up a little bit?
Definitely. I think fielding will be key in all the games. Cutting down twos.
I must admit, as much as I've given Pakistan my undivided blue tick on Twitter, that I think that they're my favourite team to win the tournament. I think South Africa have just been absolutely incredible in the field, and to be fair, they well beat the USA, but you wouldn't have thought that the way they fielded. They just kept going. We had Jay Beattie down here celebrating every catch like he'd won the World Cup.
Yeah.
Van Wyk, who had a fabulous game, 4 wickets, 50 retired.
Can we not mention the South African name in the World Cup in the same sentence, please? Well batted, Haroon Khan. 50 off 27. He goes back into the hut. His insurance for later on in the innings.
It really does shift the baton onto Simon Dunning now. He's 10 off 8. He's got himself in now, so he'll be looking to kick on.
So it brings to the wicket Blake van der Linde. It's a big hitting left-hander.
Which league does he play in?
He plays in the same league, in the Southwest London Sunday League. Plays in the same team as Simon Dunning, Aon. And these guys have had many a partnership together, know each other's games inside out. And this should be a good innings for him. Oh. Seems to be just swinging at everything and not actually playing the ball. Simon Dunning. So we could see a couple of reverse sweeps, reverse slogs from Blake. He likes to keep the bowler thinking, keeping his lengths different.
Just a little delay between that ball and the keeper from Scotland, Joe Rose, who I think's actually done a fabulous job. Don't think some of the bowling's necessarily helped him. Has got the ball stuck in his hand when throwing it back to the bowler. He's ended up 50 yards the wrong way. On cue, Joe, thank you very much for that. That was a brilliant take down the leg side. Excellent footwork.
Has he got the player cam in his ear?
Well, great for any young keepers there. He got his feet moving across, his head stayed the right side of the ball till the last minute and got his hands in a beautiful position.
Van der Linde off the mark. Although he did get it, sorry, mistaken, he was off the mark with a wide, but first runs off the bat.
We have spoken a number of times on commentary today about the role of the wicket keeper in LMS. And obviously,
massive.
Some teams have decided to go for an extra batsman, and some sides have obviously gone for specialist keepers. Have you got a view on it, Ross?
Say that again, sorry.
Have you got a view? Would you?
I think a very good keeper that's a very good batsman is ideal. My team in London, Mark Peters, who's actually quite unlucky not getting selected for the England team. He's a really good keeper and he's a good batter. Saves a lot of runs, a lot of byes, and
well, just like Joe Rose here, obviously, it's very, very difficult for the captains to be able to change the field. So having a good wicket keeper with a bit of extra knowledge doesn't half make a lot of difference. As Blake has just crunched it through the offside.
Good chase, change it.
Scotland got round really well there to cut that off. Well, quite a lot of the England team are being followed by their partners. It's a fantastic way for some of these players to have their friends and family watching who can't be here today. Obviously, we've had Simon Dunning's hubby on, but we've just had a message on Facebook off, I think it's Selena, and Blake's son Noah. So that's fantastic, that we've got so many friends and family watching these guys. And I know they're extremely proud that they're out here representing England today.
Simon Denning on strike again.
Amir comes into Dunning.
Yeah, there we go. He's been waiting to do that for the last, since he's been batting. Got one in his arc. It's disappeared out the ground.
There's nothing better as someone who's seen as a hitter. If you watched after he hits this ball, he's got no intention of running. He knows it's 6 as soon as it's left the bat. You have a good look. And that's gone. 30 yards back there. Just been told that that's 88 metres on the gun.
I've had a couple of those sort of shots off my bowling in the Sunday league I play in. So at least I'm watching it now, not on the receiving end of it. Except they go a lot further.
I was going to say, well, it's only 6 if it goes 1 metre over the boundary or 10 metres over the boundary,
Exactly.
but not in this game. That's ball. The innings goes for 12.
12.
I think I've been hit for a few 12s in my time. May just needs to compose himself here, see if he can pick up a wicket at the end of his spell.
Oh, big heave. Chinese cut down to...
That's brutal for Amir
4
there
runs.
because Dunning, after playing that powerful shot down the ground, lost all his shape there, and just Chinese cut it down for 4. I think the Scottish team here really need to just regroup and maybe have a little chat about how they can get out this innings unscathed, because unlike quite a lot of the teams who've gone off like a train, England seem to be getting quicker and quicker
Yeah.
here.
They seem to be pacing the innings really well. Set the foundation up in the beginning.
And there's a dot ball. I think that finishes off Sahad Amir, and that's 4 overs, none for 44 for him. That takes England on to 152 for 1 off 15. My favourite man, Jay Beattie's just walked past there. Do love his enthusiasm in the field. Any left arm opening bowler has my vote as well. So I'm sure we'll enjoy his company for the rest of the week.
So we've got Dunning 21 off 12 and Blake van Linde 4 off 4.
What will he be happy with here now? 5 overs to go. What will he be looking at?
I reckon 185 at the minimum.
As a bear, I'd raise you to, I'm saying 210
210.
for a gentleman's glass of Coke here.
That's fine with me.
See, Blake was looking for a no ball there, and the umpire's quite right. He's gesturing at the umpire that's too high, but he's advanced well down the wicket there, and the umpire's made the correct call in my book there.
I totally agree.
If I was batting, I'd say it was a no ball.
Great shot. Slaps it down to long off for 4 runs.
It's been an innings of 2 halves for me from Dunning, because I think every time he's stood and he's just watched the ball and set his feet, he's hit the ball as clean as anyone on the pitch today.
Yeah.
The couple of times where he's tried to hit it that little bit too hard, that's when he's lost his shape. So, but look, he'll be very happy, and his strike rate seems to be rising by the minute.
I think his eye's in now. Dunning again, sets himself up. Oh, well bowled. Big heave, misses it. It's 4 byes. Unlucky to the bowler. Threw it up there, backed himself. Did him in the flight, but wasn't lucky enough not to get him out.
In this sort of situation where the batting team are in a very dominant position, it can be difficult keeping wicket to hold your concentration when you're not necessarily touching the ball.
No, it's terrible fielding there on the boundary. Is that a bit harsh?
No, I actually enjoy your honesty, to be honest, because obviously I've had Grievo next to me, who, as founder, is a lover of all cricket,
Yeah.
good or bad.
Oh,
But Scotland just in this over, they've obviously we've had 2 lots of byes now, and then a misfielder, you know, and Farad's pulled a good over. You know, he's had two player misses and a ball hit straight to the sweeper, and he's gone for 9.
no, it's definitely a batter's game, this.
There's nothing wrong with that. Bowlers get loads of goes. Get it wrong as a batter, you only get 1.
Fair enough.
So 166 for 1. This has got a real potential for being the highest score of the day here. And that's exactly what we wanted when we set off this morning. That we wanted high scoring games, exciting cricket, and we've certainly got it. Sam Ferguson comes back in.
Big appeal for caught behind, but the umpire's having none of it.
One thing I would say, I've been really, really impressed with the standard of umpiring today. I think that, you know, obviously all the teams are putting the umpires under as much pressure as possible, but fairly. As in true Scottish style there, that was a football slide tackle for the ball down the far end. It's horrible down that end, it just rolls away from you, peels away.
No, these umpires they umpire in my London leagues, and they're a great bunch of guys, and they do a fantastic job, and sometimes a bit of a thankless job being an umpire.
Well, it's a thankless job being an umpire, but an umpire and a scorer.
Yeah.
Come on. And that's 4 more. Ferguson at the start of this over had some very economical figures, and all of a sudden they're starting to take a bit of a pound in here.
Oh.
I'm feeling quite comfortable about my glass of Coke as well.
Yeah. Well, can we change it to beer?
Whatever you want, because 185 is going to be tough to defend. Dunning in the last couple of minutes has just really just gone into a different gear now. He seems to be finding the middle of the bat with regular ease now. I'm waiting to see the same from Van der Linde. Very imposing figure.
Yeah. Bowls some good medium pace also. Mixes it up. Lots of slow balls. Lots out of the back of the hand. It's a good all-rounder.
It's the end of the over. 175 off 17. I'm really, really surprised that we haven't seen Gavin Dean come back on. And as if by magic, there he is.
Yeah. The commentator's curse, you called it.
He's wearing Fraser Watts' shirt as well. I'm pretty sure that Gavin Dean's grandmother's going to be very proud of him out there wearing the Scottish shirt today. As the ball gets squirted out into the leg side, that's 1 run.
Brings Blake van der Linde back onto strike. It's 5 off 6. I think he's going to start.
Well, England will be hoping to get off the board with a win here. Obviously a very commanding position to be in at the moment. These boys won't be able to rest on the laurels for too long as a no ball is called. As Dunning dispatches it out to deep mid-wicket, and he'll get a free hit as well. He'll be very excited about this. I always find it really tough, Ross, to stay calm when a free hit's coming.
Yeah.
I'm already playing about 5 shots before it's even come in, and all I do is pray that it's not a short ball. Be intrigued to know how you approach this free hit, Ross.
Bowling or batting?
Well, let's start with your batting.
My batting, I'd probably block it. Block it back to the bowler and say, well bowled. But in bowling, I mean, one of the rules is if you bowl if you bowl a free hit ball in the last ball of your over, it's pretty hard that the next bowler has to bowl your free hit ball.
So what, you just drain it, do you?
Throw the ball to the bowler and say good luck.
I think it's been pretty obvious today that some of the frontline bowlers, it hasn't half made a difference when they came back onto bowl.
Yeah.
And straight away here, Gavin Dean's come back on, and there you go. I tell you what, I'm having a bit of luck at it. Some of these Scottish lads must be in the rear. And he's picked up the second wicket. The England boys take on the UAE tomorrow at 9:30. And Scotland will be taking on India at 3 o'clock.
Okay. Jamie Carter comes into bat from Norwich.
That was a fine innings from Simon Dunn in that.
Really well batted.
45 off 25.
Sets him up well for the week. He's been in good form all season, so
I'll be interested to know whether Simon Dunning's wife was happy with that performance. Obviously, she was quite animated online prior to, so I'll be interested to know what her feedback is.
it's good running. Great running by these guys. Early call. Great shot by Van der Linde down the ground. 4 runs.
Tell me, Ross, I'm slightly biased. Is there a better shot in cricket than the straight drive of a left-hander?
What about the on drive?
Nah. I'll play on the posh side here in England.
Yeah.
And Van der Linde has just lent on that beautifully. That'd be making my highlights reel of the day.
I think so. Oh, that's out. Yes, that's out.
That was very, very sharp work from Rose.
Great keeping.
This is very, very sharp work from the keeper, and I think this could be really sharp work from the umpire as well.
He's asking for a replay, but he's on his back.
It's just another example. The ball before, he's just set his feet beautifully and punched it down the ground, and then the next ball obviously tried to hit that fraction too hard. Got the beauty of the replay here. I'd love to see that again. They give me a different angle here.
Rock and roll.
I'm giving that not out. I think it looks out all day long, but I think that was extremely sharp work from the keeper. But to be fair, Blake was trying to hit it so hard, he's actually spun round and got his bat in.
Ash, please change your decision to not out.
Ash will be over at half time to ask whether that's out or not. He's very, very proud man when it comes to his work. Oh, actually, that angle, we could be here all day watching that.
Yeah.
For the benefit of Selena Blake's wife, I'm saying not out.
So Adil Hussain comes into bat. He plays LMS in Kent.
I think if England were being extremely ruthless here at 190 with Hussein the last man in, knowing he's got Compton and Haroon Khan in the hutch, these two have got the opportunity to be very, very forceful in this last over.
So my score wasn't too far off.
Still feeling very comfortable here. Obviously, like the price is right. You've got to, if you go over your score, you're out, I'm afraid.
Exactly.
It's a nice shot. I think he's just managed to get that square of the wicket there.
Good running. He's got back for 3.
That's amazing running from Carter there.
Oh,
Very early on he decided there was 3 there.
really good running. Good call. Going to the danger end.
I've been really surprised today that it appears that a lot of the teams have not quite accelerated as much. There was only that Pakistan game where they kept going really towards the end. I think
That was when Abdul Razak came back in.
that was amazing. That.
Yeah.
There was a real buzz around the ground when Razak was facing that final ball of the innings, and that is it. That's a fantastic shot.
Great shot by Jamie Carter off the mark. The delicate shot down to third man.
In the space of 2 balls there, Jamie Carter's just shown some really good cricket there. He's turned a 2 into a 3.
Yep.
And then at this stage, it's very easy to try and force the ball.
Yep.
Dean, who's been by far the pick of the bowlers from Scotland, he's just hung it outside the stump, expecting Carter to heave it into the leg side, try and force that final over. But he's just stood up nice and tall and just rolled it down past Thomas Jose down here. Don't forget, guys, we're here all week, so come down and support this tournament if you're local, or if you're not local and you just fancy a holiday up in Chester. There's a lot of very nice landmarks around here, not just Chester Cricket Club.
If you're wanting to get involved or play LMS, just visit the website lastmanstands.com/join. You can register a team, you can register as a ringer, and your local league manager will be in touch. Great shot by Jamie. Oh. Two more to the total. Last ball of the innings. What do you reckon? Home run?
What sort of character's Jamie?
He's a good guy.
Is he going to open the front leg out and try and whack this? Do you get a double if it's 4?
No.
Do you run anyway?
Only if it's 6. Does it count as 12?
That's what I've loved about today. I'm learning all the time.
So 203.
Top score of the day?
Yep.
That's right, isn't it?
Yep.
Well, there's a...
Well, no. The turn was 220 on field 2 with the New Zealand, but we're talking main pitch.
I was just going on pitch one, apologies.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure tomorrow the graphics and all the scores from the other pitches will be given to me, and I'll be able to give you New Zealand boys the credit you deserve today. I've been harping on about Prandeep Singh being player of the day, and then you came over and told me someone made 90 off 29 on the back.
Yeah.
Just in front of us as we're coming to halfway here, England are just wandering off. We've got another player from local LMS here, Rich Battersby's just made it down to the ground. Got to play him the other week when Chester took on Upton in the LMS, which was fantastic. He also plays a bit of senior international indoor cricket as well.
Brilliant.
He'll be loving this later on. He'll listen to this back. I'm only saying it because he's banging in front of me here. There he is. There's the smile. He's heard it all. He's very happy with that. We'll have Paul Kearney down tomorrow, and I can go through his career stats also. Anyway, I think England will be very happy with that. 203 for 3. Where's your money, Ross?
Definitely on England.
So I'll let you go double or quits.
Let's shake on that right now.
Mate, it's been a pleasure having you in the box for that period of time there, and I think Grievo's going to pop back in for this second half.
Cool.
But I'm looking forward to having you next to me for the New Zealand game tomorrow and see if you can keep unbiased.
Very impartial.
Well, you're lucky you've got 4 chances, 4 possible countries to win, so you've almost got as many as Wayne's picked out there.
Exactly.
Cheers, Ross.
Thanks, Lee.
So this is the final innings of the day here, Chester Boughton Hall. LMS England have made 203 for 3. Pick of the bowlers was Gavin Dean with 2 for 30. Sam Ferguson 1 for 37. Just waiting for the LMS Scotland guys to come out and start the innings. They're going to require just over 10 and over. I've got Haroon Khan down in front of me here after his 50. Hitting it very clean, Haroon. We've just spotted one of your special ones teammates come down to watch you as well. There's a few of the people following you online as well. In exceptional form after 100 on Saturday as well.
I'm hoping, buddy.
I'm sure he'll be looking forward to his early start tomorrow morning against the UAE. If you're in the local area or you want to watch us online, that's 9:30 in the morning. That's UK local time. I'm afraid I don't know any other times around the world, so make sure you make your adjustments if you're watching online in some of the other countries. I'm back with LMS founder Wayne Grieve.
Good evening, Lee.
It is a good evening, and the weather, mate, you couldn't have picked a better day's weather for the opening round of games today.
Yeah, it's been typical of the whole summer. It's been a great summer, but it's been a bit of a rain around during the week. But as you say, we couldn't have asked for a better start weather-wise. It's helped everyone get into this tournament. Been good crowds, a lot of beverages consumed, all sorts of food been cooked, various different nationality dishes. The host club, Chester Boughton Hall, have done an unbelievable job.
I noticed that on the menu actually, that it was I was going for the chicken nugget and chips option, which many people will know me as my standard dish, and there was food from all around the world.
I went for a boerewors roll. Unfortunately, they were so popular they all sold out, so I'm going to get in the queue early tomorrow. If anyone wants boerewors rolls, you've got to make sure you get in there before 3 o'clock. So opening bowler for England, Adil Hussain, plays LMS in Kent. He's played for Team Manchester before. He's an aggressive fast bowler. He was part of the famous Team Manchester that made it to the final of the 2013 World Championships at Lords. Fairly aggressive fast bowler.
He's definitely one of the taller bowlers we've had on show today.
So uppercut. Haroon's under it.
Oh, what an amazing catch. We could have a double play as well.
You just can't keep Haroon Khan out of the game. You sometimes feel a bit unlucky as the batsman when that happened.
It was a genuine uppercut, wasn't it?
Yeah.
To be fair to him, and he's timed it almost too well.
Yeah.
We'll watch this back on the replay. Hussein's banged it into the wicket. Maybe a fraction of a top edge.
And Haroon, you can see experience, they're still going for the double play. So this England team, a lot of them didn't know each other before this event. Some of them only met each other for the first time this afternoon. They come from different parts of the country, but they seem to be gelling and bonding well.
Obviously being the host nation in England, how does it work? Are people travelling or staying over, Wayne? How does it work for them? Because obviously, you know, for the teams that have travelled from far and wide, they'll be staying. So, yes. Are they staying locally or travelling in? Or
yeah, some of them are staying locally. Some are actually staying at the Chester University. Which Adil's got a clear tactic to bang it in. Yeah, he's decided he's going to hit the deck hard.
It's something we spoke about very first thing this morning, this length, and you know, obviously with the height that he's got, he's going into the wicket hard here, trying to get his wrist behind the ball. You can see he's presenting the seam there as he comes in again. Back of a length, play and miss. I genuinely think as some of the games go on, Wayne, that this will be a tactic from some of the top sides.
And also they've gone for the power play. They've got a 4-2 field, got two fielders up. Got a third man, deep backward point, short cover. And he's bowling to his field.
That's a brilliant over, that.
So we need to keep an eye out, Lee. There's the 3 awards that have been given out each day. And it's going to be part of the co-branded Bass LMS range. It's a new range that's just come out. And we've got to pick the bowler of the day, the batsman of the day, and the player of the day. So I know there's a few people behind the scenes looking at all the performances. You'll be involved in the decision-making list. I'm sure you've seen some good performances all around. I think Adil Hussain will be looking to working his way into the considerations with the bowling.
Is that the first maiden we've had on the front pitch today?
It is. I can confirm that. We're just going to speak to statistician.
I know Benedict's busy today, so I'm sure we've got someone on your staff, Wayno, that can drum up that stat, and whether if that's the only maiden of the
We've
day.
just got official confirmation it is. That's the first maiden of the day.
As Simon Dunning comes into bowl here.
It's pushed down to Khan.
Again, they're using the option of the power play here. It looks like Simon's just trying to just tail the ball away from the batsman here. Just, you know, try and bowl his best ball. Quite a similar pace and style to yourself, Wayne.
That's a great shot. Jamie Carter quick in the outfield. Oh, that was probably two there.
Seems like a big player for this England side, Simon Dunning. Obviously, we've just seen him get very good 40 odd, and then he's straight into the attack in the power play here.
Yeah, they've come out with a very clear plan. Yeah, I like this field setting as well, and it's obviously a big, huge gap at mid wicket. So you've got a long on, a square leg on the boundary. It's obviously going to try and bowl wide outside off stump here.
He's genuinely trying to shape the ball, Wayne, which is great to see. Really, it's very, very easy when you're playing T20 cricket to not look to take wickets, and he looks like he's trying to bring the keeper into play. Also, he's got a guy short. I'd say short cover point. Looks like Blake there. So hopefully, with that little bit of shape, if he can get them on the drive, that we may get our first catch in the ring today.
Yeah. So the first 4 overs of the game, you're allowed to set a 4-2 field. So they've obviously had a discussion before they've started this game, and they've decided to adopt that strategy. The deal. This is a great spell. Yet to have a run up his bowling. He's picked up 2 wickets.
Genuinely bowling with some really good pace here, Wayne.
Yeah, he plays Premier League club cricket down in Kent as well.
As a quick bowler, there's no better sight than hitting the top of that off stump. The batsman there just tried to, in Tom Jose, just tried to create a little bit of room for himself. He was expecting the ball probably back of a length or shorter, looking to carve it away, and Hussain has almost given him the double bluff.
Yeah.
He's gone a little bit fuller there, and it's gone straight through him. So, in a bit of a perilous position here at 5 for 2 Scotland.
Yeah, to be fair, they've got 1 or 2 of their star players arriving midweek. Fraser Watts is one of the big players, and he is a coach up in Scotland, so he wasn't able to make it. He's doing some coaching, but he arrives tomorrow, so I think he'll be adding an extra dimension to the team. As I see Blake van der Linden moves into slip. Interesting tactic here. I think it's probably a good tactic. The length that Adil's bowling, you could quite easily see one going through the slip area.
Nice to see Farid just getting behind that rock onto the back foot and punch it to deep point there. I thought he was very unlucky in the first innings, Farid. I thought he deserved.
Well.
You look at his figures: 4 overs, none for 41, and he had a couple of drop chances and looked very, very threatening.
Yeah, he did, and sometimes, well, in all forms of cricket, the figures don't do the bowler justice, but you can definitely see he's going to be a big player for them in this tournament. He looks a compact batsman as well. Ooh. So this is an outstanding spell here from Adil. Quite a hostile opening spell, this.
Just obviously the keeper's just tried to go for a double play there by throwing it at the stumps afterwards at this far end. What would have happened if no one was backing up?
Well, there's it's dead from a point of view of runs once the wickets fall. Yeah, it's dead from that point of view. It's only alive from a wicket point of view.
Okay. So that's just good for the guys at home there.
Well, technically, unless he's going to try and go for a steal, but that's normally something that'll happen when the ball's hit out into the deep outfield. He goes for a steal, but
early in your innings, Wayne, that is just a horrible, horrible length that Hussein's just bowled there. That's just tailed into the batsman's chest of Sam Ferguson, and he's just shown us actually he's he's probably got his hands a little high, and it's crashed into the glove and through to Lomas, the keeper, who's also having an impressive game today.
Yeah, Lomas, they've actually got 2 keepers in the side. Jamie Carter is the other keeper.
Can you see them rotating them keepers throughout the tournament?
I'm not sure. Jamie's more of a batting keeper. I think Lomas does keep for his corporate side, Barclays Capital. As I said earlier in the commentary, Aaron's been playing a long time. He's played a lot of LMS games, predominantly for Barclays Capital, the London Corporate League.
It's quite interesting this from Hussain. He's automatically gone round the wicket here. Gavin Dean, who was the standout bowler for Scotland, he's being asked to climb a mountain here as Hussain races in again.
He's hitting the ball. This is one of the better spells we've seen today, Lee.
As quick bowling goes, obviously we had that very impressive seam bowling spell from
Jake O'Connell, I think, earlier in the day.
Jake O'Connell was impressive, and then Shahbaz Khan from Pakistan. But to see a tall bowler hitting the deck like that, I don't think there's anyone in the Scottish batting lineup that's queuing up to come in at the moment when he's in full flow like that.
Well, he's got a 3-fer already, and the 3-fer is like in LMS is like a 5-fer in the longer form of the game. They're taking the slip out. Simon Dunning will be asking the skipper, "What have I done wrong not to get a slip?" Better back me, Skip.
I will be interested to see as the week goes on, when some of the powerhouse nations play each other, whether a couple maybe gamble. If we see a bit of shape like that early on, whether it's worth having a catch in, because it's shown today every team that's took early wickets have restricted.
Yeah. I think it's, as you said, the key is if you get in shape on it, you can bowl one side of the wicket, then it allows you to go 4-2. If it's not shaping too much, it allows the batsman maybe to walk across and try and work it into the onside, assuming you've got a 4-2 offside field.
Most definitely. Dunning comes in again.
He knows his areas here, doesn't he?
They complement each other really well here, Dunning and Hussain, aren't they? You've got Hussain running in, bowling hard back of a length. The batsman not feeling overly comfortable. It's hard for them to get their feet moving against Hussain, and then Dunning's coming in with just a little less pace, and he's right on cue. He's bowled an absolute horrendous ball down the leg side, and a very good stop by Lomas. I'd really appreciate if some of these bowlers could buy into some of my praise, because every time I say anything nice about one of the bowlers, we tend to have a wide that follows. But he's just going to gather himself again. Only gone for 6 runs so far.
Oh, this could be... Oh, Blake let one go through his legs there.
The English team have just got to stay on it here. I know they're well ahead in the game, but look, this is fantastic match practice as well to get the disciplines right.
Yeah, that's right. As I said, they only come together for the first time today. Some of the other touring teams have, they've been on a plane together. They've had a chance to discuss tactics a bit longer. Oh, that's a great shot. Oh, and the fielder's gone the wrong way. Adil Hussain was running the wrong way there, and he all sorts of signals, and eventually when he realised which way he had to run, the ball had already crossed the boundary.
Go back again.
Yeah, as you were saying earlier, Lee, when the sun starts dropping, it makes it quite tricky. Although I'm not sure that's actually the direction where the sun is coming from.
If I'm Hussain, I'm on cloud nine anyway. I'm bowling a fantastic spell, representing my country here in the World Cup.
And he's also representing LMS Kent. It's a growing region of last man stands. Steve Hayes is doing a fantastic job with LMS in Kent. There's 12 or 14 teams down there this year. And he plays in the Kent Premier League, which is a decent standard as far as LMS goes. You
can just see here, just to give you a bit of understanding how tall Hussain is, he was towering over the umpire there when just dropping his hat off there. So he gets to make amends straight away for his faux pas at the far end.
Yeah, and can he pick up a fiver here?
Dean just clearing that front leg out the way. I think some of these Scottish lads are very aware that obviously Hussein does possess a short ball, so they're making sure that they're in position to try and carve it through the offside or maybe give it a pull.
That's right, yeah. And the power play over, so finished. So they just had to correct the field. They were attempting a 4-2 and they correctly pushed back to a 3-3. So now we've got a third man, backward point.
Be really interesting to see, because obviously Hussein has just bowled brilliantly to his field, that 4-2 power play field, and straight away to Farid there. He's just straightened his line up a fraction.
Yeah,
he made that immediate adjustment.
Great technical awareness there.
So
it's not just fast and nasty. He's got a good cricket brain.
Comes in again.
As you say, he's just straightened up here. This is really, really good cricket.
Now the rest of the England lads have got to stay switched on with Hussein's cricket brain here, and be aware that, you know, if you're fielding out on the leg side, you've been pretty much dormant so far in his spell, and now you're going to be very much in the game.
For sure. Now it's the left-hand, right-hand combination as well. Square legs up.
I've got a funny feeling he may go quite full here. There it is. I just thought he fancied running one through Dean there.
And well fielded by the skipper, Darby Welsh.
Tell me a little bit about the skipper, Darby Welsh.
He's a leader of men. He's played LMS since 2007. Well over 100 games. Been a great, loyal servant to Last Man Stands cricket and a popular character.
Very sensible play from Farid. Sorry to jump in there, Wayne. He obviously knows Hussein's, you know, a key bowler here. He's barely gone for any runs at all in his overs. You know, that's 4 runs in 3 overs. That's unbelievable bowling. He just got himself in a bit of a nasty position there. He didn't go through the shot, just punted it into the leg side, took the single.
Yeah, you can see he's an experienced campaigner.
Just going up behind us now is my favourite team by distance, is the Singapore national team.
Singapore.
These are by far my favourite team. The fact that they've already played and they've been in the nets for 2 hours today.
And they've got some great supporters as well.
Really bought into it today. I thought they were fantastic in the field, and I know they've got a stiff task tomorrow against the South Africans, but I'm more than happy to get off the fence and support the Singapore side.
Yeah, I think they're going to that game as favourites.
I'm sure we'll find another commentator who'll support South Africa. No, it's fantastic when you see the sides putting so much into it, and then playing in such a high intensity game, and then instead of maybe shooting off and taking in the site to Chester, or taking in another game, they're straight in the nets and making sure that everything's spot on for the next game tomorrow.
Yeah, that's great discipline. They're up early this morning, first game, 8:30.
I'm sure they thank the competition organiser for that one.
It's 8:30 again, but this time 20:30. And they're here still, having a net. They mean business.
This is Blake van der Linde. Have I said that right? My pronunciations
correct,
have been
yeah.
fractionally off at times.
That's a good English name. Yeah, so Blake was born and bred in South Africa. I think he actually knows Nick Compton before this tournament. That's a great shot.
Very forceful. We have mentioned it a lot in the last hour. You can see now that I think it's Nick Compton out there at the long on boundaries, wearing a pair of sunglasses. His hat's well down in front of his eyes. It'll be interesting to see if any of the teams look at the toss in this final game tomorrow and see if there's any advantage to having the sun for or against you.
What would you say? What would you do if you won the toss tomorrow?
I'd 100% want to be fielding.
Fielding first.
I'd want to be fielding when the sun is like this now, because I think if you have the right bowlers, the right slow bowlers, that you can make it very difficult for the batters. There'll be people who will disagree with me, but If you can get the ball above the eyes and rotate the seamers from the far end, get some fielders with a good pair of eyes, a hat and some sunglasses at the far end. Maybe not Adel Hussein, who ran the wrong way of one in the final over, but I'm sure England will let him off after his blistering opening spell.
Ooh, almost chopped on. So a lot of good all-rounders in this England side, and in the LMS format you need all-rounders. You need 5 guys that can bowl, and there's only 8 players in the side, so you need genuine all-rounders. You can't have a weak link in your attack, as we see the big man himself, Nick Darby-Welsh. He's come into this tournament with a slight injury, but he's been saying that for the last 7 years, so I'm not convinced. I've never seen him actually fully break down. A lot of repair works along the way, but he's a gutsy character. He gives everything. He's the type of guy you always want in your side.
So there he is, just making the final adjustments to his field here before he starts his spell. Solid start from the skipper there, ball just knocked out to long on. It's a tough situation for Team Scotland here because we've spoken about the losing bonus points. What would they have to get to if they weren't successful here? I'm not writing them off just yet, but the run rate is getting a little bit out of hand here at 13.3.
Oh, and a little tickle. And Darby-Welsh showing why he's been so successful in LMS format over the years. No great pace about him, but what you see there is the type of dismissal he gets a lot. Just nibbles the ball outside off stump, does enough with it.
Oh,
that could be up there for the player of the day. I've been working on that one.
I'll tell you what I have been impressed with this England side. I do genuinely think they've got some of the better seam bowling options.
Yeah, they do.
And that's genuine shape again.
Yeah, shape, yeah.
So, it just we've been talking about the potential for it to dry up and spin, but it's actually been the seam bowlers in this innings that have done the damage.
Yeah.
In fact, in both innings, because Dean was the best bowler in the Scotland ranks as well.
Yeah, look at that sunset leap, beautiful.
There we go, game on. Coming in again, the skipper.
Got one in the shin there. We know it's hurting, but he won't show it.
Comes in again, 1 for 1 off his 3 balls. Just into the pads there.
Lee, coming back to your earlier question, to get the losing bonus points, you got to get within 80% of the score, so that's around 162. So you got to be realistic. 204 from this position. There's 1 in 100 chance, so I think they've got to try and find a way to get 160. There's 5 group games, and those extra 2 points are going to make a big difference. It's been a beautiful day here at Chester Boughton Cricket Club, famous club in the northwest of England.
That view there, just looking over the town centre. I'm sure some of the sides will be frequenting in some of the restaurants and bars this evening, just to rehydrate and get the correct nutrition in, ready for a big day tomorrow.
Yeah, there'll be different approaches to it this evening. I know it's been the Chester races weekend as well. So Blake van der Linde continues. He's gone for just 5 of his 7 deliveries. It's the slow ball there, mixing it up.
So if you were the Scottish side, Wayne, what would your thoughts be at this point? What would we've spoke about the losing bonus point. Is this about getting time in the middle for the rest of the batters now?
Yeah, I mean, even the losing bonus points could be a tough ask. I know that their squad is going to be strengthened. They're always going to have a few challenges for the opening game. Fraser Watts, former Scottish international, he arrives tomorrow, as do 1 or 2 other more experienced players. So I don't think we should write them off just yet.
I think it's important for them to take something out of this game today. At the moment, it's like we spoke about, it's a little bit ominous, but they did create chances when they were bowling.
Yeah, they did. I think the fielding, there's a few drop catches that took the pressure off the England side. If they'd maybe held on to a few of those catches, it might have created some scoreboard pressure, and England always had wickets in hand, so they're always able to play freely at the back end of the innings.
I've always thought this is, when we played T20 cricket here at Chester, this is a really, really nice time to be in as a batsman. It's not necessarily this slightly twilighty period. It's a great time to be in as a batter. It's not necessarily a great time to come in as a batter. So if you're set and you're seeing it, it's a really nice time to bat.
Let's watch Derby Welsh. He'll be looking to swing it into the pads, yep. He knows his areas. It's almost impossible to hit that sort of delivery for 6. He plays a lot of his cricket in the Barnes Sunday League. He also plays in the Wimbledon Midweek League. Plays for 2 or 3 different teams in London. Adil Hussein's covered a lot of ground out there, cutting off the angles, only 1.
So what have we got to look forward to tomorrow, Wayne? We've obviously spoke about the odd game.
So the game to look out for, to watch Derby Welsh continue. Just push down. This should be
Come back to man, my boy.
Should be 2. Tip of the second. Good run in there from Bainbridge. I think there's going to be a lot of games that are worth coming down for tomorrow, but the pick of the games is the game at 6 o'clock between New Zealand and Pakistan. Abdul Razak, James Franklin from New Zealand. That should be a cracker.
England just continue to hammer away back of a length here. They've really stuck to the work here. They've stuck to the plans. It's very easy at this stage at 32 for 4 to start wicket chasing and maybe being a little bit more aggressive in the lines, but they're staying very disciplined.
Yeah, they're respecting the game, nice and professional.
How far do you think this English side could go in the tournament, Wayne?
In their group, they've got New Zealand.
Now they scored prolifically today on pitch 2. I've explained to some of the viewers that pitch 2 is slightly smaller and it's a very, very good batting track, so the scores will be high. How do you see them faring in that game?
I haven't seen too much of New Zealand side. In the same group as New Zealand, Pakistan, India, UAE. It's a tough group, but I think they're in the top 3. I think
who are the favourites to come out of that group?
Pakistan. I think Pakistan are the favourites in that group.
Australia would fancy to come out of that group, wouldn't they? At the
Australia in the other group. So Australia in the other group.
Apologies.
Australia with the group of South Africa, and but I think in this group it's Pakistan are the clear favourites. Although England will be feeling otherwise, yeah.
See it, to be honest.
Obviously Pakistan on the back of a famous victory over the old enemy India earlier in the day. As a complete change of length there from Blake van der Linde.
Good sportsmanship. I think those two shared a beer last night at the opening function. So good to see a smile from both the bowler and the batsman there.
That's the end of Rob Bainbridge.
And the deal is saying it's just given Blake van. Oh, when we've seen the, I don't know what you call it, the little car celebration. We have to ask them what they actually call that.
Watching the replay here. That's almost a perfect Yorker there. There's nothing the batter can do with that. A right smile. Probably knows the game's probably slipped away already. And that's where we see that little fist bump and a pat on the back.
And I think Blake said, "Be on me" after the game.
So just to reiterate to anyone who's tuning in at the end of the day for the first time, if you like the look of what you see and you'd like to know where you can play LMS, I'll go over to you, Wayno, because then I'm sure you know the website address better than I do.
Just go to lastmanstands.com/join, and from there you'll be able to pick up your country and then your region, and it's just a case of registering and then finding 7 other mates to play.
Or
a good shot by Dean.
One step further, Wayne. If you're,
is that Scotland's first boundary? They've celebrated like it is.
I think Kazim got one earlier on, but
okay.
I think that's the second one.
Okay, well, good to see some spirit from the Scottish boys on the sideline there.
Yeah, I think he's a popular character in this side, Gavin Dean. He obviously bowled well before, and he's really stuck in and showed a little bit. To be honest, I think he's done really well. So I think that's testament to how popular he is amongst the ranks. Just going back to obviously what we were talking about prior to that boundary, it's up in that top corner now, lastmanstands.com/franchise, and that's if you're one of these people who can see the potential in starting one of these very exciting cricket leagues in your area. Like we said, if you just fancy having a team joining, then obviously it's lastmanstands.com/join. But I've got a funny feeling that some of the guys in the Last Man Stands office are going to be extremely busy over the coming weeks answering some inquiries and emails, Wayne.
Yeah, hopefully it's not about the umpiring. We always get 1 or 2 of those.
Well, that's the beauty of there's only been 1 or 2 decisions today where maybe the umpires maybe have been fractionally on the wrong side. I
disagree. I think we've got every decision right. There hasn't been one mistake.
And that's the beauty of having a completely impartial non-LMS commentator on the books today. And I'd say there was probably 1 LBW that maybe pitched a foot outside leg, except it's been very good.
No, we had a look at that. We had a re-look at that, and we drew the red line down the middle of it and just pitched on. Umpire's call.
It was an amazing decision for the Blake van der Linde stumping. Me and Rob, the franchise owner from London, had a good debate. We watched it 3 or 4 times from every angle. I said he got back, Rob said out, and obviously he's more experienced than I am at LMS, so let's go with him.
The Derby Wells to continue. It's heaved away. Oh, that was done in out there. I don't think he picked it up. It's just for the viewers at home. It's getting quite dark out here. It's now 20-9. This game was scheduled to finish around now. We were a little bit delayed in starting this game. Still 10 overs to go. So we might need to get some cars into the backfield and get some floodlights out here.
Very Coach Carter, that.
It's gone again. This time to Khan.
I don't think it's necessarily helped. I think England are really going to struggle with their over rate later in the tournament if they don't bowl any slow bowlers.
Yeah, I think they've got Compton to bowl a bit of off spin. I know Haroon Khan also bowls spin. Probably worth giving them a bowl just to get them used to the conditions.
and maybe get through the over
Yeah,
rate
get
as
the
well.
overs, yeah.
But obviously this has been their ploy. They've gone hard lengths with the seamers here, so why change something that isn't broken?
Yeah, agreed.
As Blake van der Linde comes in to start his final over. Incredible bat speed there.
So Mir, 9 from 4. He's striking it well, yeah.
We saw in the India-Pakistan game when India got well behind the 8 ball and were needing 14, 15 and over. I was on commentary with Marcus North, and we thoroughly enjoyed the innings of RB, who came in later on, modelling some fine black cricket shoes, and proceeded to smash the ball at a strike rate of 300. Had a real swagger about him. First ball he put his helmet on, he got out. So it'd be nice to see one of the Scottish lads, whether it's Amir or Dean, come and put the England bowlers under a little bit of pressure here and
show a bit of fight.
Show a little bit of fight and just maybe put a little bit of fear into future opponents. As he blazes it out to the cover point region. Another single.
So the lights fade in. We've got Dean, 19 from 18. The run rate required is, well, probably an unrealistic call. We've got to probably rather look at the 160 mark for the losing bonus points, but even that's looking beyond Scotland, yeah. I think the batsman should just use this as a way to get a bit of form going into the next game.
I completely agree with you, Wayne, saying that it's an opportunity for them to maybe gain a little bit of form. But what I would say is that it's, in the next few games they're going to have to be able to play one or two forceful shots.
Yeah.
So, not to... There's nothing worse. I've played in games where sometimes they may start to fizzle out as a contest, and you start seeing batsmen having a net. In fact, I think it's probably up there with one of the worst things I can find in cricket.
See it away. Out to Dunnin. It's got a strong on, Dunnin. Back into Derby Welsh.
You go through some of the top run scorers on the day today. Obviously, from the first game we had Manpreet and Vagav, Van Wyk, Venter. This is me trying to remember. Duan. These are all guys that have retired today.
Yeah, there was a 90 not out from a New Zealander of about 30 balls on the back pitch. So I'm not sure who it was. We've got to go and get the stats up for that, but I know there's a lot of people raving about that innings.
What obviously we've had Nick Compton, Abdul Razak. What I'd say is all those batters there have gone about the business by holding the shape in the shots. I understand that LMS is a dynamic game, that obviously each league around the world is played fractionally differently in the way that maybe they go about scoring the runs. But I really do think that at a ground like this, on a wicket like this, there is so much value for full cricket shots or timing the ball.
Yeah, I think obviously everyone approaches batting differently. You saw Simon Dunning earlier. He's not there to work the ball around. He's there from the outset, looking to find anything in his arc and to heave it. But you get other batsmen that maybe approach it from a more technical way. We saw the Singapore batsmen do that, hitting the ball straight. The key is always there to keep your head down. That's the key. And I think Arun Khan, he showed us earlier what he could do with the bat, and now he's coming on to bowl. Bowls little dart off spinners.
Hopefully Haroon is going to rattle through the overs here as the light just comes in a fraction on us here. Hard into the wicket, a little bit of turn, out to long on.
Yes, there's been a strong performance from the England side, yeah. They'll be happy with the start to the tournament.
I think he's lucky to get away with a wide there.
Nick, in the interest of time, I'm going to bowl up a really short runner.
Khan's had an amazing weekend though. Obviously you mentioned before that he's had a fabulous score for his club.
Yeah, 145 yesterday.
And then he's put on his national shirt today in the World Cup, and he's gone out there and batted brilliantly, retiring in the England innings.
Yeah, and also been able to bat with Nick Compton. Must be a special moment for him in his cricketing career.
Always interesting to see an off spinner come over the wicket. It's not the norm against the left-hander. People tend to want to come around the wicket and try and straighten it. But obviously Haroon there just looking to angle it into the heel of the batsman there as a left-hander. That's another tactic there, try and shut off one side of the ground.
And we see Nick Compton being given the ball. He's going to bowl with his cap on. Doesn't want to waste any time. He's happy with his field. He's got a backward point in the boundary. Deep extra cover in the mid-off.
I don't know about you, that distinctly looks very similar to a Michael Vaughan style off spin action.
Yeah, very high left arm.
Certainly, obviously, done a bit of coaching in his day, Nick, and obviously.
You like that? You got a bit of turn there.
It's amazing, no matter what the level, what the format, batsmen who get to have a bowl, any sort of joy, whether it's past the bat or a wicket, it's amazing how easy bowling becomes.
I think he was thinking about appealing at one stage.
Comes in again. That was a really nice shot. Dean with a lovely 4 down the ground. Haroon Khan being flogged onto the back pitch there.
Yeah, the outfields are so quick here. I think towards the end of the tournament we might even see one going all the way to the bushes on the far side there. That'll be about 200 metre hit.
Just drag that down.
Half an appeal from Compton as well.
He's got a chance to run out here.
And the teammates are shouting easy. I don't know if they're shouting that to Nick or just a general consensus that everyone just needs to take it easy.
Could they just have a little dip at that bonus point here, or are they just a little too far back? As that nearly decapitates the umpire at square leg.
I didn't see it either.
Yeah, so it's gone for 4. What do they need? They need 90 of the next 5 overs to get the bonus points. 160, 162.
I think for a Scottish team, I think if that's out of sight, definitely getting past that 100 mark is a mental barrier.
We never know, net run rate could also come into it. And if 2 teams are tied on points, then net run rate will come into it. So you've always got to try and take the game as deep as possible without throwing in the towel.
Khan comes in again, over the wicket, just landing it on that leg stump, a little bit of turn.
Going for 2. Direct hit would have been out.
I could just imagine MS Dhoni there, you'd have been in front of the stumps when he's obviously a freak of nature of how good a wicket keeper he is. He's got his own style.
Yeah, I think even him out here with the light, not easy. Got one on the half volley there.
Being cruel. On cue, Lomas with a sharp take there. Khan's just getting a little bit of purchase there. Be interested to see how effective he is as a bowler as the tournament goes on.
Yeah, definitely. Compton and Khan will probably have to come into it more and more in the back end of the tournament. He's bowled him. That ends Gavin Dean's hard-fought knock. 35 from 33. Wickets falling all around him, but he can be proud of that knock. He's got Fraser Watt's shirt on. Fraser Watt comes back into joins the tournament tomorrow. Fraser Watt, for those of you that don't know, is a former Scottish international, so should give them a bit of impetus going into tomorrow's game.
This is Joe Rose coming out to bat the wicketkeeper. I do feel a fraction for Joe. He spent most of the innings with the sun as a wicketkeeper, and then he's come out to bat and
with the moon. He's got to worry about the moon.
A couple of very sharp pieces of work by Joe with the gloves on before, which brought up the debate of batsman keeper over keeper batsman.
Yeah, it's been a debate that's gone on the whole day.
I'm just desperate for someone to agree with me, Wayne, so I keep asking everyone who sits down. Desperate for someone to say, you know, someone with a dodgy hat and a pair of rusty gloves who are brilliant glovemen still got a role in this, but everyone keeps on telling me that obviously a batter averaging a strike rate of 200 is more important.
Sounds like you're describing Jack Russell there.
Well, it's funny you mentioned Jack Russell, one of the great keepers.
And Jamie Carter. So they're using all 7 bowlers, yeah. Jamie Carter's he can bowl a bit. He bowls a bit of in-duckers. He's a keeper. He can bowl. He can keep as well. So a good all-round player. Good team man.
Slightly different trajectory now from
Carter,
Adil Hussain. But he's banged it in.
He's banged it in. I think he heard you there. I don't know if that was just nerves and it stuck in his hand.
See, if that was in the IPL, we'd be saying that he's held that back and
Slow
that's a slow
ball
ball bouncer, yeah. He's definitely looking to drag it down into the wicket.
No, this is great bowling from Jamie Carter. Game awareness.
As he just turns again to come in.
So Jamie Carter, definitely the 7th option in this bowling attack. I don't think we'll see him bowling too much in this tournament, but you never know. You just never know late in the tournament who's struggling. One of the seamers maybe's been taken to a liking too, taken to the cleaners, and Jamie might have to bowl a few.
Well, it was mentioned before, Jamie's also one of the wicket keepers in the England side, so fair play to him. Obviously he's the complete all-rounder here, and his unpredictability could be his strength.
Yeah, it could be. You never know. Bowls a long hop. What batsman? He's bowled that little leg spinner there.
Adil Hussain has been absolutely outstanding in this.
Adil Hussain, what an athlete!
Tell you what, he's just come in front of us there, Wayne. He's an absolute mountain of a man there.
6'8".
As a quick bowler, though, it was nice to see the boot out there. There was no intention of getting down and bending down there to pick that one up. Just put it looked like a size 12, that to me. They've really stuck to the work, the England players here, whether it's backing up or in the field. They've really tried to make sure that they close this one out. Haroon Khan to bowl his 3rd over here. He's only gone for 6 runs. Got a wicket to go with his 50 earlier in the day. And there it is again, the commentator's curse as he drains one down the leg side.
Oh, and Dunning's well done well. They got the boot in. Well done, Simon Dunning. So Joe Rose, 3 from 3.
That was just a very brief glimpse of middle-class England there. A lovely Trilby hat and a glass of wine as the dusk settles here at Chester. As Khan comes in again, forced out to long off.
Clean pick up by Jamie Carter.
I don't think the keeper's going to appreciate that one bit. Showing his arm off there. So, your one highlight of the day, Wayne?
I'll get back to you after this ball.
Arun Khan again, just showing a fraction of spin there. You know, it's coming out the front of the hand. There's no real loop.
Yeah, from an on-field perspective, the highlight was, for me, actually probably the third ball of the day, where we saw some majestic work out on the boundary, the type of stuff you see in the IPL. The fielder,
Manpreet Singh.
yeah, he took a ball just inside the ropes, realised he was going to go over the boundary. I think we need to just pause there for a second and say great shot there from Joe Rose. Sorry, correction, that was
Asad Amir.
Asad Amir. You've got to recognise this knock, 28 from 21.
The tail's wagged a little bit for Scotland, doesn't it, Wayne?
Yeah, they'll you never know. As you said, there might be a stage in the tournament where they need to have the last two knocking off 30 off the last 4. So they should give themselves a small target and try and chase down 120.
I do feel sorry for some of the Scotland top order. They ran into a very formidable opponent in Adil Hussain. He was in absolute scintillating form.
He's bowled 3 overs, 4 runs, 3 wickets, and 1 maiden included in that. That's the only maiden of the day. Maidens in T20 don't come often. Maidens in LMS come even less often. So, you know, that's, for me, he's going to be one of the bowlers to watch out for in this tournament. So, if we watch that driven down to mid-off. Well fielded by Arun Khan. So, Lee, what was your highlight of the day?
Well, you probably stole mine because I'm as everyone's heard, a big Singapore fan. And my man Manpreet Singh was in the comms box before. Give us 10 minutes, he was fantastic. And I look forward to hearing more of him throughout the week. But I'm going to go for Abdul Razak, marquee player. Hit the home run off the last ball, which bounced halfway down Filkins Lane here, the road running into the ground, as the ball is smashed out to long on for 1 run by Rose.
Yeah, he was itching to get back in. He got his 50 and then he retired. And you always know a batsman wants to come back in when he's fully padded, standing on the side of the field. He's actually standing on the field, sort of suggesting to one of the players, get out, I'm waiting. And they obliged, and he got in with 2 balls. He blocked his first one. We missed his first one.
Well, the number 8 tried to steal a single through to the keeper, and I don't think he read the script. Razak was always going to be on strike for that final ball, and to be fair, it was one of the biggest sixes of the day. But his innings at the start, his partnership with Batty, but it was amazing. They put on 70 for the first wicket.
So this is the final over of the day.
We've gone to Simon Dunning. Just run one through. Asad Amir fancied a wide there, but he did clear his front leg out the way. Batters always like that. They want the bread buttered on both sides there, as the ball goes out to long on for 1 more, and that'll bring keeper batsman Joe Rose on strike. So who would be your man of the match in this match, Wayne? Or does the Does the app that you've put together tell us who it
The
is?
app will give us the man of the match, so that's based on an algorithm. So obviously an algorithm can't pick up certain things.
And feel of the game and key moments and stuff like that.
But you have to look at the bowling figures of Adil Hussain. He might not get it in terms of the stats, but I think he won't be far off it.
Haroon Khan will be close, won't he?
Yeah, because he's come in and bowled a good spell as well. So Haroon Khan, from the system point of view, would probably get it. But if there's a match adjudicator, he'd probably be looking at Adil Hussain's spell.
We're probably being slightly unfair to the 50 scored by Nick Compton, but I certainly think Nick will let us off. He gave a couple of chances, but I'm very excited to see how the more that we see of him, the more fluid he'll become.
He did give a few chances, but he also showed some class. Some of those extra cover drives along the ground were something a little bit different to what we see from the average player.
He looked every inch the Test cricketer that he was. Some of the shots through extra cover were absolutely fantastic, and that brings the end to this game. LMS Scotland have been soundly beaten by LMS England, and England have righted a few wrongs from earlier in the summer.
I think that's a strong performance from the England side. I think they will use that as a banker, and from their point of view, I'm sure they'll want to build on that and follow that up with a good win tomorrow. It's a tough group. They've still got to play strong New Zealand side. They've still got to play Pakistan. They've still got to play India. It's only the top three that go through to the knockout stages.
Just a little mention for Asad Anir there. He's finished on 34 out of 27. He's absolutely shattered at the end there. He's really pulled himself back together. He probably won't be 100% happy with his bowling figures. I think he took a bit of tap.
Yeah.
But the fact that he's turned it round in this second innings, and he'll take a positive out of that. Joe Rose, 13 off 10, and maybe the Scottish side may just have a little look at the order for tomorrow and see if they come out with a slightly fresh look to it.
Yeah, well, Fraser Watts will be joining them, so he'll go and I'm sure he'll give them a team talk before the game. But then they got above 100. So they haven't disgraced themselves here, although I know they'll be disappointed. They also know that they don't have their full squad available from today, but from tomorrow they'll be at full strength. So it'll be interesting to see what sort of impetus Fraser Watts has on the side.
Just while we're getting a shot of the players coming off, the two gentlemen in the yellow hats there, the umpires, we've had a number of umpires out there today, but they've done a fantastic job, and I've been explaining that obviously they score as well on the app, so what a fantastic effort at this sort of level as well at the World Cup.
Yeah, so you look at that Darby Walsh there, applauding his guys coming off the field. Little handshake with Jamie Carter. Scottish guys, they play the game in the right spirit. I'm sure there'll be a drink or two in the bar afterwards with the England lads. Long way to go in the tournament.
So just to recap for the viewers, what time are we starting tomorrow? What's the first game to get us going?
So 9:30, we're on the main field tomorrow, and just confirm that fixture with you in a second.
I've got a funny feeling the England boys have got an early start, and I think it may be against the UAE.
You're correct. So that's a 9:30 start, and then the games come thick and fast after that. Some cracking games.
That's a massive game in the morning for the UAE.
Yeah.
They were very close to chasing down a massive total on pitch too.
Yes, they've got some firepower on their side. They lost to New Zealand, but they've got a few players in their side that could. Obviously, England will go into that game as favourite, but they could cause an upset. So we just look at the match scorecard. England put on 204. In reply, Scotland 107. Adil Hussain, pick of the bowlers. 3 overs, just for 4 runs and 3 wickets. And then all the bowlers very economical. Compton just the 1 over.
The one guy I'd just point out to watch tomorrow, who I thought was fantastic with very little luck today with the ball, was Jake O'Connell from Australia.
Yeah.
I thought he was really exciting.
Yeah, the young Australian left-arm fast bowler. I don't think he got any wickets, but he's very economical. I think he only went for 20 in his 5 of 4
But
overs.
He was bowling at the toughest time. He bowled at both ends. He showed he could bowl over and round the wicket. Bowled a really good bumper at G. Mendes. I'm excited to see him again tomorrow.
Yeah, myself. And I think that's going to conclude the day's play. Lee, you've done a great job in the commentary box today. Thanks. Really, the viewers have been entertained to some good cricket, but also some good commentary from yourself. On behalf of Last Man Stands, I'd like to thank Chester Boughton Hall for hosting us at this tournament, and we look forward to chatting with you over the next few days.
It's been brilliant, Wayne. Thanks for having me, and look forward to seeing people online and some more great cricket over this coming week. So thank you very much.